everyone, welcome back to Pommy and Oz. Hope we're all doing absolutely awesome. We're at Day. I like Day. You know what I mean? It's near bad. Well, we've got a really exciting video today, something a bit different. We did this last year, but we're doing this with a bit of a twist. We're going to do a surprise All-Australian from all 18 clubs, and we've got a few twists and turns. So if you are new around here, please smash that like button and subscribe. We're really at the precipice of 3K. We won that by the draft. So if you can help me out, please do that. And you want to be subscribed with the notifications on, because on Friday, we're doing a real-time AFL fantasy draft, a mock draft. I've got the wonderful Ian Brownie from the Navy Blue Corner and Lekdog from Blue Abroad Network, and also the wonderful Jock Reynolds podcast. So really stay tuned for that. We've got 6 teams each. I'm representing Collingwood and Carlton. Bit of conflict of interest. So it's going to be really fun. We've put a lot of research in. I know the 2 boys are looking to dick me. So make sure you subscribe for that. But let's get into this video. So what I've done is I've taken 18 players that probably aren't talked about enough. There is some obvious selections there, but I've tried to be a bit twisty. So let's have a look. Adelaide Crows. This might surprise someone. Someone? Yeah. But Adelaide, Sam Berry. Right now, why I've chosen him is he had a really solid year this year. And it was really poignant when you actually saw how he polled in the Adelaide medal. He was in the top 10 there. Emerging talent winner as well. And someone that I think that if you just look at the AFL at the moment, they are really starting to big these contested bulls. So for me, he's someone that I'm a real big fan of. And I think I've got a feeling that Adelaide are going to surpass expectation. And I reckon Berry's a big part of it. I know a lot of people will have their eyes on Sloan and Laird, rightly so. I've just got a feeling that Berry is that understated hero that may get them that level. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him get a nomination at the end of the year. He's probably my surprise packet of this video. The next one is, and we've got a few guys who have moved, Josh Dunkley. Now, I look at Brisbane and I just think that he's that player that could really change them apart. We look at their BNF this year, and outside of Neil and McCluggage, there was a few surprises in that top 5. I've just got a feeling that this guy here is going to be the guy that sets it apart. And I've got a feeling that he's going to give them that X factor that they lack, especially when it comes towards the crux end. And I've just got a feeling that Josh Dunkley is going to absolutely hit the ground running. And I think he's just got I think he will be their game breaker. And I am really looking forward to watching Brisbane play next year with Lockie Neal and the addition of Dunkley alongside of him. That is a really strong lineup. Gunners is in the forward line as well. They've got a real talent there to kick to. I've just got a feeling that, Dunkley is going to go and explode. So he's my next guy. My Mighty Blues. I thought long and hard about this. We always know that I do a big call at the start of the year. Last year, it was Curnow winning Coleman. This year, Caleb Marchbank. I've got a feeling that if he can get fit for 20-plus games a year, this is the intercept third that Carlton are looking for. We know how splendid Carlton were with Mitch McGovern and how much we missed him. I've just got a feeling that Marchbank is going to really fly. I've got a really sneaky suspicion. Caleb Marchbank is my surprise All-Australian for Carlton if he stays fit. And I've got big raps on this kid. We've talked about him for so long. It's a bit like Charlie Curnow in the backline. We've talked about his potential, where he is. Just got a feeling he stays fit. Look out, Caleb Marchbank. Collingwood, Nick Dacos, probably the biggest crime in AFL history is how this guy wasn't All-Australian this year. Absolute crime. And people can come at me, even with the Carlton bias. This guy was sensational. Literally set the world alight. And I can't believe the AFL did not give the kid the props and love he deserved. Nick Dacos will be a shoo-in for the All-Australian. Another year in the system, he'll be good. I'm looking forward to this kid, and I think he will fly. Essendon, we hate talking about them, don't we? But let's talk about them. Jake Kelly might surprise people, the former Adelaide boy. I think he's quietly, just quietly, one of the most understated players in the AFL. I love what Jake Kelly brings. And I think it's probably the easiest position to get in the back line. And I've just got a feeling that Jake Kelly, he's going to get a lot of service at Essendon, because you would imagine that they are going to hemorrhage inside 50s. I am a huge, huge fan of Jake Kelly. I think he goes about his work really quietly, and he's got something about him. And I wouldn't be surprised to see this guy be a smoky. And I've tried to go with players that aren't so obvious. Jake Kelly is one of them. Fremantle, absolutely froth this kid, Hayden Young. I think he's going to kick on this year. Everything about Hayden Young, I love. I love his ability to roam off his man. I love his one-on-one ability. I love his intercept ability. I love his ability to transition. He stands out when he plays, and I think Hayden Young is in for a huge year at Fremantle Football Club, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him, should they go well, be in the conversation. Geelong, SDK, absolutely kicked arse this year and took names, and I've got a feeling he'll back it up, and I think he's really building into his role at Geelong. He's going to be a guy that I will be looking at, particularly in them tall positions, which I think there is about 8 guys striving for 2 roles there. Sam is one of them guys that I think he's going to start getting that responsibility and really start taking it. I'm a huge fan of SDK, and I think he will have a huge, huge year and really bust the doll down for AA nominations. Gold Coast Suns might surprise someone, but Noah Anderson. I'm a huge fan of Noah, and I know Matt Rowell probably gets the kudos, Tuck Miller. I think Noah Anderson is all that in a bag of chips. I am a huge fan of Noah, and I think he goes about his work, and he's one of these players that I really enjoy that probably doesn't get the raps they deserve. There's a few of them. Do you know what I mean? Like Sam Docherty, I don't think gets the raps he deserves. George Hewitt didn't this year. Noah Anderson just does all that hard yakka, and no one talks about him. And I think he's so good, so clean in what he does. I'm a big fan. Noah Anderson, if they have a good year, I wouldn't be surprised to see him take that mantle. Number 9, the 9th team, GWS, Harry Himmelberg. I really like him being deployed down back and up forward. I think the swing man is probably the new and vogue thing in the AFL. And I've got a feeling that Himmelberg will fly. He started to show it last year. I think he'll have another huge year. And I think he's going to slowly start to build in as being one of the most key cogs in GWS, particularly with them losing so many midfielders. You'd imagine that back line is going to be hemorrhaged. And I reckon Harry Himmelberg is going to step up to the plate and really kick some ass. And we always see one of them bottom 5 clubs have an All-Australian purely on the back of numbers. He'll get a lot of numbers down the back. Harry Himmelberg's that. Hawthorn, you know what? They've lost half a midfield contingent. And I've got a sneaky suspicion that Jai Newcombe is going to be the main man. Take over that Jaeger role with being that contested ball, getting the ball on the outside. I reckon Newcombe is the man. He's a tackling beast already. I love everything Jai is about. I think he's going to have a key role at Hawthorn this year. And I think he will really stand out through weight of numbers. Jai Newcombe, Hawthorn Football Club, surprise chance of an Australian. Melbourne, this might surprise people. Now, loads of people are saying, will it work? Now, I understand that. I'm an old man, 37. I've seen a lot in the round ball. When you start putting superstars in the cogs, doesn't work. I think Brodie Grundy will fly at the Demons. Absolutely fly. And I think he'll return to the All-Australian, and I think he will be a superstar. I think you're going to see the best of him. I think him and Max Gawn together, it's going to be tasty. So Brodie Grundy. North Melbourne, this is a surprise, and I've taken a liberty with Harry Sheezel will go in one of their picks. I think this kid is ready-made. Look at him in North as well. He looks ready-made. Look how good that Photoshop is, Pom. Photoshop genius. I think Harry Sheezer is a guy that just stands out and could have a Nick Dacos type year in the forward line. I think he will absolutely tear it up with limited opportunities. I think you'll really see what he's about and get people excited. Got to remember, Stengel did it for Geelong this year. At the start of the year, Josh Rochelle really was in a lot of people's halfway point All-Australian. I think Sheezel will be better. Can't wait to see Sheez. Mate, honestly, this kid's got it. The old cheese tater tot Sheezel. Connor Rosie at Port. I think he's going to finally make good of his incredible talent. And I think that Port are going to need him. I think when Robbie Gray gone, I think this guy is going to step up. He's going to be that dynamic forward. He's going to be that dynamic guy that they pinch hit in the midfield. Can he wait to see Connor this year? I think Connor's going to have a big year. Big year. Watch this space. Richmond, another tradee, if that's a word. Tim Taranto. I think Taranto is ready-made for that Richmond midfield. I think he is the cog they're missing. I can't wait to see him. I suspect he's going to be playing a little bit on the ball and across high half forward. There's no Kane Lambert there. We know how he stood out from them wide positions. And then when he pinch hit, especially that forward line, I reckon Tim Taranto is going to absolutely froth it. It's going to be Froth City. I reckon he's going to be superb. Superb at the Tigers. St Kilda, in a world of mess. They've got Ross the Boss back, but I reckon Maxi King. I reckon it's the year of the King. I think you will see this year, here's my big call, that the top three, I don't think you'll see Hawkins there. I think that you'll start to see the new wave coming. Curnow, King, Harry Mackay, Ben King. I think these guys will start taking over. And Max King, I think he's going to have a huge, huge year. Huge year. Watch this space. But I think he's going to have a huge, huge year. Sydney, you know, my team that I like to talk about, James Rowbottom, another guy that I thought really started to shine towards the end of the year. I reckon Rowbottom is going to really take over that midfield as that industrious player that can slot across the forward line as well. I'm a big fan of James Rowbottom. Everything he does is spectacular. So Rowbottom, check him out. I think he's going to be big. Down to the last two now. Doggies, probably a bit disappointing last year. Bailey wasn't at his usual high skill level. But that being said, I think he will return with a bang, especially with Dunkley out. And Eagles, tough one this, but I think Oscar Allen, welcome return for him. I can see him. He's kind of the liquid shoal sorts at Eagles. I think there's a lot more opportunity now. We know Kennedy there for him to really swing both ways, which he seems to do. He likes playing down behind the ball, but also up forward. I think Oscar Allen is a massive needed cog. And I think that you will start to see the younger guys. They're my 18. Let me know in the comments. Who have you got for your team that you think could be a surprise All-Australian? I've tried to be a bit exciting, create a bit of discussion, so let me know how I went. And until next time, stay safe. Palm out.